When my boys were little, they loved to hear stories. They would say, "Tell me a story." The crazier the story, the better. I tell myself stories too. These are stories that swirl around in my mind, growing and growing as I think about them. Sometimes the stories are helpful, but most of the time, they're not. I tell myself stories about the events of my life, interpreting what they mean or what will happen in the future. I don't think I'm alone in this. I'll bet you know exactly what I mean. My coworker didn't greet me this morning. She obviously has a problem with me. My husband didn't ask about my day. He's such a jerk. I didn't get that promotion. I'm never going to amount to anything. I made a mistake, so I say, "I'm such an idiot." She missed our lunch date. She must not want to see me. The interesting thing is I get to choose the story I tell myself. But it's not always natural or easy. I have to train myself to avoid negative assumptions about the events of my day and what may or may not happen, and choose to consider a more positive spin. My coworker didn't greet me this morning. Maybe she's dealing with something. I'll go the extra mile today to give her a reason to smile. My husband didn't ask about my day. He must have something on his mind. I'll give him a few minutes and then I'll suggest we go for a walk. I didn't get that promotion, so God must want me to stay where I am, or maybe he has a different plan. She missed our lunch date, so I need to check on her and make sure she's okay. But what if my negative assumptions seem to be true? What should I do? Well, I should approach the person at an appropriate time and in a non-threatening way tell the person what happened and how I interpreted it. Then ask, "Is that true?" For example, you might say to your coworker, "Hey, we passed in the hallway this morning and you didn't return my greeting. I'm wondering if there's a problem between us. Is there something we need to talk about?" Or you might say to your boss, "I was so disappointed I didn't get that promotion. I thought I would be a great fit for that position. Where do I need to focus my attention to make sure I continue to stretch myself and serve the company well?" When the voices in our minds tell us negative things about ourselves, those are lies, and they can literally take hold of your mind. We need to attack these lies with the truth. Who does God say you are? There are many verses in the Bible that tell us who God says we are. Here are a couple, but there are many more. John 1:12. "But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God." Ephesians 2:10. "For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do good things he planned for us long ago." Find a verse that attacks the lies you're telling yourself and make it personal. Put your name in it. Say it over and over to yourself. Write it down. Put it in places where you'll see it often. The Bible has a lot to say about our thought life. Check out these verses. Philippians 4:8. "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." What about Philippians 4:6? "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." 2 Corinthians 10:5. "We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God and take every thought captive to obey Christ." And how about Psalm 19:14? "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer." So, the next time you start telling yourself a story that may or may not be true, or start telling yourself lies about who you are, immediately take those thoughts captive and ask these questions. God, what do you say about this? What are some more positive alternatives to the story I'm telling myself right now? Who do you say I am, God? If your mind is determined to stay on a negative path, take control by thinking about something different. Gratitude is another great way to win against negative thoughts. Start naming all the things you're grateful for. Through God, we can train our minds to be in alignment with Him. As Roy would say, until next time, keep walking with Jesus.